Yo, what's going on YouTube, man? You already know who it is. It's your boy Leroy, man. Thank you guys for tuning in to another video. And if you're new, I appreciate y'all tuning in to the kid, man. Today we finna watch the most dominant class ever. The top 10 recruits from 2013, man. So we gonna see how it go. I can't remember how many people. I can't remember who was in 2013 class. I think it was RG3. I don't know, bro. We gonna figure it out. I know it's Jalen Ramsey, but we gonna see how it is. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, favorite, share, turn on post notifications, get notified every single time I post. We finally hit 400, so you already know what's going on, man. Road to 500. Let's get it.
10 years ago, the
Appreciate y'all,
2013
by the way,
class of
man.
high school football recruits
Hope y'all
chose
day
their
going well.
universities, eager to begin their college careers. Looking at the Rivals Top 100, there's plenty of names that many of you will recognize. And for the live...
All right, let's see. Let's see the actual. Jonathan Allen. Okay. Who else? Who else? I don't know. Von Bell. Okay. Derrick Henry was in 2013. Kamara was in the same one as Henry. What? Bosa was in the same one. Eli Apple, dude, from the Bengals. Ezekiel Elliott was 2013. I feel like he was like 2015 or something. But yeah, man, that's
I can't believe Derrick Henry was not considered a five-star recruit, considering his
crazy.
size and high school numbers. But as you can see by how many recognizable names are on screen, this class is completely stacked. Yet, none of these guys cracked the top 10. As I do every year, we will take a look at each of these top 10 recruits, show where they came from, find out how their college careers went, and see if they managed to make it to the league. Anyways, let's dive in. Coming in at number 10, the top recruit out of Tennessee, Jalen Ramsey. Ramsey was a freak athlete in high school. He was a two-sport athlete, and his track and field marks in high school are absolutely ridiculous. His 25-foot, 3-inch long jump set the Tennessee state record, which was also good for second in the country that year. On the football field, his athleticism, combined with his elite instincts, were a force on both sides of the ball. He went on to earn a 5-star grade from Rivals, and ended up committing to Florida State. Immediately, Ramsey was a game changer.
Yeah, Jalen Ramsey was a true freshman, bro.
Ramsey became the first FSU true freshman to start since Deion Sanders. And as Florida State went on to go undefeated and win the national title, Ramsey earned freshman All-American honors.
What's up with the quality though? What's up?
After that season. By the end of his junior year, Ramsey was a two-time All-American, multiple award finalist, and considered by many scouts as the top defensive back in the upcoming NFL draft class. While researching him, I found two interesting things about his
let me see his stats. All-American candidate Jim Thorpe, award candidate Bronco Nagurski, trophy candidate, all ACC first team, contest. I don't know how to say that, so forgive me. Y'all can say it yourself. All-American, AFCA first team All-American, Walker Camp first team All-American. ESPN first team All-American.
While researching him, I found two interesting things about his time in college. Number one, Ramsey wore 3 different uniforms throughout his 3 seasons.
I didn't know 17.
The last of which being 17. And he had to get permission from FSU legend Charlie Ward to wear it, since that number was retired. And no joke, he would only wear 17 when he returned kicks. Then he would take it off and resume wearing number 8 on defense.
No way.
Kick.
Huh?
Then he would take it off and resume wearing number 8 on defense. The other interesting fact, at least to me, was that he won the ACC long jump in 2015 with a career PR 26 feet 1.5 inches. In other words, if this dude took track more serious, he most likely would have been competing in the Olympics. But he chose football for obvious reasons.
With the 5th pick,
that's crazy, switching jerseys in the game.
The Jacksonville Jaguars select Jalen Ramsey, defensive back.
After making it to the NFL, Jalen Ramsey became the top corner in the league and got paid like it. In 7 NFL seasons, he's made 6 Pro Bowls and became a key contributor to a Super Bowl victory. Ultimately, Ramsey is one of those rare prospects that, despite the
Yeah, a lot of y'all be hating on Jalen Ramsey. Just because he talk trash don't mean that he's still not like that, bro. Don't get it messed up. You feel what I'm saying? Everybody be clowning him because he talk trash, which I understand because you gotta back it up. Sometimes he be getting dusted, so I get
crazy
y'all
hype
though.
in high school, he managed to exceed even those expectations. Now, before we go on to number 9, this video is brought to you by SeatGeek. With over 28 million downloads,
Thank you,
SeatGeek is
OTK,
the
for the
#1
bid,
rated
but
ticketing
we
app. There are
ain't
more than
doing promo,
70,000
bro. I ain't gonna
played high
lie.
school
I'm gonna help
ball
y'all
with
out,
fellow
man.
stars Blake Countess and Stephon
Kendall
Diggs.
Fuller.
Both Fuller and Diggs earned 5-star grades, and Fuller was described by ESPN as, quote, having the size, athleticism, and coverage savvy that is rare in a high school cornerback prospect. He went on to be named the U.S. Army All-American
Who did he
Defensive
play
Player
for?
of the Year,
I feel like I
and chose to
know.
attend the school that all of his 3 older
I
brothers
seen his
played
jersey
at,
before. That's
Virginia
crazy.
Tech. Now, as good as Jalen Ramsey was as a true freshman, Fuller was even better, earning ACC Defensive Rookie of the Year with a ridiculous 6 interceptions. Fuller continued his successful career as a sophomore, earning
he
first
bullied
team
dude.
All-ACC and second team All-American, but a knee injury early into his junior year threw some adversity his way. He still decided to declare for the draft at that point, and unfortunately because of that injury, he dropped from a first-round projection to a third-round pick and the 14th corner off the board. Fuller has developed into a reliable starter in the league, first as a nickel corner in Washington, then in Kansas City, where he made some huge plays back in their 2020 Super Bowl victory. Now he's back in Washington. So,
I'm tripping.
overall, Fuller has carved
I ain't never
himself a
seen it.
successful pro career as a multi-year starter. And to wrap up this section, let me bring up his siblings again. This is pretty cool. All 4 of the Fuller...
I was about to say, man, it's different Fullers. It has to be different Fullers. Because I heard of them before.
to not only have successful college careers, but they all went on to get drafted and played at least 5 years in a league. The best of which has been the 3rd youngest, Kyle, who's made 2 Pro Bowls to this point. It's not every day that you see 4 brothers.
Yeah,
all
I think
excel
it
this
was
much.
Kyle that I seen
Okay,
before.
anyways, let's move on.
Because it looked like he played for the Ravens.
Taking a look at the 8th ranked recruit, we have the top running back prospect of 2013 out of Richmond, Virginia, Derek Green. Green was a, quote, chunky freshman, listed at 5'8", 268 pounds.
Man, it
that,
don't
due
even
to
look like
diet
he
and
moving
workout
for real.
changes, was
Catch
able
him.
to drop 50 pounds by
Nah,
his
I'm
junior
playing.
year, and he
Dude,
turned
a
into a
5-star. Don't play
total
with
tank
dude.
of a running back. He described his own play style this way, quote, I was always downhill. If you look at my film, I'm not really a bounce guy. I'm a one cut and go. Real straight, north and south runner. And I have the speed to kick it up in 6th
He remind me
gear.
of Chubb, Nick
With
Chubb.
40 offers from
If y'all
around
know
the
what I'm
country,
talking about, bro.
Green committed to Michigan, where he became their highest rated running back to sign since 2006. But once he got to campus, it appeared that he started having issues with weight, as he reported to camp at 240
Whoa.
pounds.
You went from this, bro, to this. You went from, bro. Come on, man.
And to the surprise of many, he
You
didn't
gotta
play
stay
a
in the
whole
weight
lot as a
room for
freshman.
that, though.
As a sophomore, he had a few solid performances before unfortunately breaking his clavicle, and from there, he was never able to get his career on track. He struggled to find carries in this offense, serving as the backup as a junior. Then after transferring to TCU, he ran into the exact same problem, finishing his college career as a rotational back.
TCU jersey's
Green
too
never ended
tough,
up getting
bro.
a shot in the NFL following his time in college. Up next, at number 7, we have the top quarterback of 2013.
How is he in high school and he already got a knee brace? Bro, you already got knee problems as an 18-year-old, 17-year-old, bro? Oh, man. You in
the
trouble.
two-time
I
Gatorade
ain't
Player
gonna
of the
lie.
Year in Washington, Max Brown.
We're gonna see how this
Considered one
career
of the more complete
turned out,
passers
bro.
in this class in terms of measurables, Brown was 6'5" and certainly looked the part, and he had the stats and accolades to back it up. After throwing for over 12,000 career yards and 146 touchdowns, Brown went on to commit to the place where all the top pocket passing type quarterbacks seem to go, USC. Brown ended up redshirting as a true freshman. Then the following year, USC head coach Lane Kiffin was fired, and they hired Steve Sarkisian. Brown battled for the starting job 2 years in a row with Cody Kessler, which Kessler went on to win. Then entering his 4th year, once again, another head coaching change was made, and Brown, under his 3rd head coach in 4 years, officially...
One thing about the USC, bro, they always have different quarterbacks. Like, I kid you not, it seemed like every time you watch, it seemed like they have a different quarterback every year, instead of just one set quarterback for the 4 years and stuff like that. That's why I feel like that. I don't know about y'all, but
won the starting job.
They can never decide, like, bro.
A few poor performances led to his benching for Sam Darnold, and Brown was left no choice but to transfer after the season, eventually landing at the University of Pittsburgh. If things hadn't been rough enough for this guy, after the greatest performance of his career, where he threw for 410 yards and 4 touchdowns, Brown would suffer a shoulder injury that required surgery and effectively ended his college career.
Wow.
Coming in at number 6,
I thought he was about to say knee injury, yo.
Kenny Bigelow. At 6'3", 295 pounds, Bigelow was described as a, quote, explosive and high-effort defensive line prospect. He is listed at defensive tackle and will likely settle in as a 3 technique in college. Bigelow was virtually unblockable with his size and speed, and he went on to commit to USC. But once Bigelow got there, it was a bit of a struggle. He suffered a knee injury as a freshman, was a backup as a sophomore, and suffered another season-ending injury before his junior year. Luckily, he was awarded a 6th year of eligibility as a grad student at West Virginia. And finally, this was a season for him to write home about. Bigelow started all 12 games, and he finished 2nd team All Big 12. This wasn't amazing considering that he was a 5-star recruit, but it was still better than how his college career had gone to that point. And because of the performances of his final year, he did get a shot in the NFL and managed to sign a 3-year deal worth $1.7 million with the Saints, but was later waived after landing on injured reserve, where he reached a settlement with the team,
couldn't win.
and his career was over after that. Moving on to number 5, we have the top receiver of the 2013 class, coming out of Illinois, Laquan Treadwell.
Ooh, out of
At
Illinois.
6'3", 198
Okay,
pounds,
Creek.
his game was characterized by ESPN as the following.
What school did he go to?
Treadwell pounds, Illinois, Laquan Treadwell. At 6'3", 198 pounds, his game was characterized by ESPN as the following. Quote, Treadwell is tall and lanky, but with lateral wiggle and speed to not only be a vertical factor, but also one after the catch. He is long and shows good suddenness off the line to create separation and get down.
Bro, he looked much bigger than these other people. He looked like a grown man playing with them. Look how tall he looked compared to everybody else. Look at this.
Separation and get downfield.
He looked like he an
ended up
adult.
following his former teammate to Ole Miss, and right away he made an immediate impact. Treadwell went on to earn SEC Freshman of the Year honors, which made him the first player ever to do so from Ole Miss. And in
Y'all can't tackle him?
Which made him
I
the
thought he was
first
down.
player
I
ever
swear
to
he
do
was
so
down.
from Ole Miss. And in Treadwell's 3rd year, he went off,
What?
leading the entire SEC in receiving yards and touchdowns.
He was a demon.
After declaring for the NFL draft, Treadwell ended his Ole Miss career as the all-time leader in catches, while earning all SEC first-team honors, second-team All-American honors, and was one of 3 finalists for the Biletnikoff Award,
Yeah,
which
he
is
was
given
going
to the nation's
crazy.
best wide receiver. Now, Treadwell's pro career hadn't gone as well as he had hoped. After being selected in the 1st round by the Vikings, he never became a reliable starter. His best season came in Jacksonville in 2021, where he put up 434 receiving yards. But still, this dude managed to live up to his 5-star rating in college, and he has been able to stay in the NFL for
I was about to
7
say,
years.
at least he was in the NFL.
Coming in at number 4, we have a dude that supposedly had 27 sacks as a senior, which is absurd. That dude was defensive end Carl Lawson. Labeled as one of the most explosive players in the country, the 6'2", 250-pound Lawson was a nightmare for opposing teams. When you see his high school tape, it makes sense why he had so many sacks. The dude was so fast and strong, and Lawson would end up
They
committing
can't hold
to
him.
Auburn. Immediately, he was a standout player. 7.5
Whoa.
tackles for loss helped him earn freshman All-American honors. His career did get stumped the next season, however, with an injury that cost him the entire 2014 season. But Lawson managed to bounce back in 2015, being named captain and earning second-team All-SEC. Then he saved his best for last. As a senior, he had 12.5 tackles for loss and 9 sacks. Lawson finished his college
Wait, he was wearing number
he had
1,
12
bro?
and a half tackles for loss.
I was a lineman
sacks.
wearing number 1.
Lawson finished his college career earning All-American honors while becoming an award semi-finalist. After his successful college career, Lawson went on to become a 4th-round pick in the NFL draft. And for his NFL career, considering his draft position, he's been really solid. He made it on the PFWA All-Rookie team and is now a full-time starter. Throughout his career, he earned himself a $45 million contract along the way. So good for him. Moving on to the number 3 recruit of the class, and the top linebacker in the country, we have the versatile Jalen Smith. Smith was described by ESPN as the following, quote, "Smith is a tall, tapered athlete who can really run and make plays on both sides of the ball. He dominates his inferior competition. He has good length with room for additional body mass and flashes good upper body plane strength plus explosive speed to be effective all over. At 237 pounds, the sky was really
He's 237 pounds. He didn't even look like it.
To Notre Dame, where he became an immediate starter. Smith went on to make a huge impact as a true freshman, but things really came together when he moved from outside to inside linebacker as a sophomore. That season, his 112 tackles and 9 tackles for loss earned him second-team All-American honors. Smith continued on his arc of success as a junior, where he was even better, winning the Butkus Award for college football's best linebacker.
I remember when.
But sadly, his college career ended about as devastating as it gets. In the Fiesta Bowl, he suffered a brutal knee injury.
I think that's what ended his career with the Cowboys. He played for the Cowboys for a long time. He had one or two good seasons, and then after he got injured again, it was just bad, bro. So now he played for the Giants. I already know where he
Tearing
at.
both his ACL and LCL so badly that he was going to need over a year to recover.
Wow.
After he declared for the NFL draft, the once projected top 5 pick was now projected as far down as the 6th round, as many teams saw his knee injury as a red flag.
6th round? You went from first round to 6th round.
For Jalen Smith's sake, the Cowboys selected him in the 2nd round,
even
though they knew that he would miss his entire rookie season recovering. Once he was able to play, Smith eventually became a difference maker, earning a Pro Bowl selection in 2019 and earned himself a $68 million deal with the Cowboys. He also was second in the NFL in tackles in 2020. That's a pretty awesome story considering how his college career ended. Now, coming in at number 2, we have the top cornerback of the 2013 class, Vernon Hargreaves III. As the son of a college coach who happened to be on the staff of that 2001 Miami Hurricanes team, Hargreaves was described by ESPN as, quote, "one of the more complete and ready-to-play corners we have seen in recent years." He went on to become the MVP of the 2013 Under Armour All-American game, and he went on to attend the University of Florida. From day one, it was clear that Hargreaves was ready to play, earning first-team All-SEC honors as a true freshman. I don't care how good you were in high school. To go into the SEC, the best conference in college football, and become
Matter of fact, I think this was one of Florida's best years. Was 2013, 2012, 2013. So this is my favorite football team, favorite college football team, Florida. So yeah.
Arguably the best corner in that conference as a true freshman, that's about as wild as it gets. And Hargreaves only got better from there. After 3 seasons, he made 3 straight SEC first teams and was a 2-time All-American. Once he declared for the NFL draft, he was right up there in the talks for the top corner in the class, alongside Jalen Ramsey. And Hargreaves went on to be selected 11th overall.
11th though?
Now, his NFL career never quite lived up to the expectations.
Oh, that jersey look bogus. Why he got the sleeves like that? Them 1980 sleeves, them 1965 sleeves, bro. No wonder why your career didn't go as well as it wanted to, bro. Because you got your sleeves like that, bro. Your jersey, Your jersey look oversized, man. You should have had your stuff tucked. You feel what I'm saying? You should have had the nice little tuck on your shoulders. Shoulder pads. You would been straight. I ain't gonna lie, you had a better season, I bet you, guaranteed.
Of a high first-round pick, which was in large part due to multiple injuries. His last season was in 2021, where he bounced around a bit from the Texans to the Bengals. And his last moment in the NFL was that now infamous penalty he earned in the Super Bowl, despite not being active for that game.
What?
But in terms of how he's done since high school, he definitely lived up to those expectations in college.
Well, it don't matter if you
Now,
didn't end up
with
in
the
the
top
NFL,
recruit
though.
of 2013,
Talk about top
the dude
draft
so
pick.
hyped up that he was regarded as the best football recruit from the Southeast in 30 years. That was Georgia native Robert Nkemdiche. With being just a year younger than this guy, I remember how big of a deal the media
6'5",
was making about
260.
him, and for
Sheesh.
good reason. Whether he lined up on the defensive line or at running back, he looked like a grown man punishing every poor soul that got in his way.
Hate to be
I
number
can't believe how a
13.
grown
Look,
man
he's like,
punishing every poor
yep,
soul
I'm gonna feel that
got
early in the
his
morning.
way. I can't believe how explosive and instinctual he looked for being 6'5", 260.
Yeah, he athletic
It's
in the
genuinely
mud.
frightening. Nkemdiche ended up committing to Ole Miss to go play with his brother, while also becoming their highest touted prospect since Eli.
Why do I feel like super strong, beast builds always go to Ole Miss for some reason? DJ Metcalf, folks right here, the last dude that we just seen go to Ole Miss, AJ Brown. Why freaking natures go to Ole Miss for some reason? I'm just now noticing that.
Manning in 1999. But it's safe to say that this dude was more hype than actual production on the field. As Mississippi's defense developed into the best in the nation, Nkemdiche was never more than a big name. His immense size was bigger than his productivity. Occasionally he would make plays and flashed his freakish talent.
He's
but
boxed.
he always left fans wanting more. In 3 years, he totaled just 6 sacks and 16 tackles for loss. And by many who watched him, they'd consider his time at Ole Miss underwhelming, especially since he was supposed to be the best player from the Southeast in 30 years. Then, in wrapping up his time in college, something bizarre happened. Robert Nkemdiche went on to be charged with marijuana possession following a fall from a hotel window. It appears that the victim, which is Nkemdiche, broke the window and then walked approximately 15 feet and climbed over a wall and fell approximately 15 feet. The marijuana charge ended up getting him suspended for the Sugar Bowl, which was the final game of his college career. Later on, he would tell NFL teams that it was a rash decision that he made while drunk, and that the weed wasn't his.
That's
This
still
story
not
is
good.
truly
It's
bizarre,
still not a good
but
look.
despite this story, along with his underwhelming college production and admitting that he was lazy, Nkemdiche was still drafted in the first round.
How?
This was because the Cardinals knew that if he got his act together, he could be as dominant as Aaron Donald or J.J. Watt.
If he, you know what I'm saying? If he got his act together, he could only fix that, not y'all. Y'all could do as much as y'all want to, you know what I'm saying? You could help him out as much as you try to, but that don't mean he gonna take it. That don't mean he gonna change,
But
you know
that
what I'm
didn't
saying?
happen. In 5 NFL seasons, Nkemdiche was mostly a backup, only starting 6 total games. So, overall, the number 1 recruit of 2013 is a classic example of a guy who was so freakishly gifted that he could coast on that talent all the way to the NFL. And he knew that better than anybody. And if you can become a first-round pick being lazy, well, things aren't going to magically change once you have millions of dollars.
That's what I'm saying, bruh.
Now, in wrapping up this video, despite a few of the guys not living up to the hype, this was really a loaded top 10. Many
And Jalen Ramsey was 10th on that. Wow. He should at least been top 5. They kind of treated folks.
American level players, future NFL starters, and the eventual consensus top corner in the NFL. But
First team American.
one thing that makes football so interesting is that the game at these higher levels is a mix of freak athletes and the lesser talented dudes who worked their asses off to reach that same level. In 2013, one kid in particular was considered a 3-star recruit and had offers to just 3 smaller FBS schools. He didn't even get his picture on Rivals. Then, After walking on to 2 separate teams, this kid became not only a
Don't
two-time
tell me.
All-American, but the first walk-on to ever win the Heisman
Don't
Trophy.
tell me it's the dude from
Of
Georgia
course,
for real.
I'm talking about Baker Mayfield.
Okay, I was about to say, bruh. I was about to say. Shh. He was a walk-on? Ain't no way he was a walk-on, bro. Man, he went crazy with Oklahoma, bro. Alright, y'all, that's gonna cap it off to end this video, man. I was low-key kind of surprised because majority of that top 10, bro, I did not even notice. I didn't even know they was in the NFL. The only person I really recognized was Jalen Ramsey. Ironic, right? And he was number 10. But anyways, man, with that being said, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, favorite, share, turn on post notification, and get notified every single time I post, man. I appreciate y'all. You know what I'm saying? To getting me at 400, I've been trying to get 400 for months now. But now it's road to 500. Y'all already know, man. With further ado, it's your boy Leroy. Why I say with further ado, like I'm finna start the video. I ain't gonna hold y'all boys no longer, man. It's your boy Leroy, and he out. Peace.